Hey guys, this is Zem over at Shark Gaming, and I'm going to do a video today on one of my pet peeves in this game, and that is understanding tank composition. And this game, to me, illustrates kind of an issue that seems like the players in World of Tanks have, and that is understanding tank composition. And that's what I'm talking about today, the difference between your team and their team. Now we're playing on North America, which is essentially an open map. I mean, you have one small part of town and a very large open area. Now, start off the game by looking at the enemy tanks. They have an advantage just in heavy tanks, right? And just by looking at the fact that their top tier four heavies are relatively slow, heavily armored. So you're going to see them in town. I mean, that's typically where they go. That's the role they play. Our team seems to be our team is made up of mostly speedy tanks. We have a lot of speed on our team, and by looking at that tank comp, if I was playing a medium or light, I would have been okay. You know what? We need to make a move. We need to push 1-2. We need to clear that out so we can win this game. Because knowing full well that you're not going to win in town with that much firepower, that much armor, that much hit points. And as from the very beginning, you can see we have an AMX-50B that decides to camp at base and provide support for the fields, which is all right. I mean, it's not a heavily armored tank, but he's also kind of out of position and there's no targets to shoot at. So for the first part of the game, he does little or nothing. His gun's not in the game. Now, heavy tanks, yeah, he doesn't have any armor, but he has HP, right? That HP, if you manage it well, he can go to town and he can make a difference in town. But sadly, he doesn't. So now at this point, we have fast tanks in town. We have three mediums in town, and two tank destroyers that are very thin-skinned that shouldn't even be anywhere close to town or within draw distance of town, let alone be in town. But they are. We have a Scorp and a Waffentrager. None of them can take a hit, but they're in town. They're not providing support for fields. They're not, back out at where the Centurion, for some reason, is hiding. They're not providing. They're not using their draw distance to their advantage. And later on in the game, they relatively get wrecked relatively early in the game because they're fighting against tanks that have armor and are easily pen them. But so, like I said, at this point, our tank composition is fast, and we only end up having actually two tanks. Eventually, they go out into the field, and two mediums and a heavy sitting at base, watching this all transpire. You give Leo the prop. He's out there trying to spot stuff. SB1C is out there trying to spot stuff, but they have not much for support, and this leaves them somewhat out in the open, especially since the MT has two 261s, which are fairly accurate artilleries, and it kind of sticks them out there in the open because once again they don't have the support. We had actually talked about supporting them with artilleries, but we decided, since literally the huge red glob that was coming through town, that if we tied up town just long enough, that our mediums and our one AMX-50B might be able to get over there and push and get to cap. We were betting on the fact that we could tie these guys up and put enough damage into them that they wouldn't be able to win town very quickly. And we did. We really worked these guys hard in town with artillery. But like I said, once again, now AMX-50B stops supporting field, comes toward town, and at this point, there was really no point. Same with the Centurion 7-1. They're there. Waffentrager's still there, but they're out of position to support. So once we have a T-49 in town, why are you there in a light tank? So like I said, this is a tank comp issue. This is people playing tanks that are not meant to be played against a bunch of heavies and in a town situation. Heavies are going to win every time peeking and poking, but they didn't. Now at this point, we're already 5 minutes into the game. At this point, if all those fast tanks and those TDs would have been out there in support, we should have been in base. We literally should have been in base almost 2 minutes ago. But like I said, this is the tank comp problem right here. People are not paying attention to their tank comp of the enemy tanks and the friendly tanks, and not playing their tank in its intended role, I guess you could call it, and not taking advantage of what they have, which is still essentially speed and view range, you know. But they don't. So at this point, like I said, we're losing town. We're trying, both me and Mill are trying our best to hit targets, trying to knock off as much HP as we can before we're going to have to make a run for it. Now at this point, the AMX-50B just skies. He's not even attempting to do anything else. He's played at the edge of the draw range most of the game, and has literally did nothing. You know, same way with the Centurion 7-1. He's once again great turret, amazing view range, great hill depression or gun depression for hills, and he's playing the 9-0 line against a bunch of tier 10 heavies. What else are you gonna say? So at this point, we're running. We don't know if we tried our best. We tried to slow him down as much as we could, and we had actually had a somewhat of a glimmer of hope that the 3 tanks or the 4 tanks that had been over on the 1-2 line and had knocked out the AT-15 finally, that they would finish off the IS-3 and get into the artillery and give a chance for us to cap out this game. But this again, once is kind of a little bit late. Obviously, you see the AMX-50B, the T-10E5 is coming back to help, and they're also dealing with 2 tier 10 arty. Now, like I said, you can't peek and poke on the 1-2 line. You're going to get, smoked by all this artillery, and they did. They didn't play their tanks up to what it could possibly do. They didn't use the advantage of speed and sight to push the 1-2 and get into cap. We weren't going to win town, so we had to win a different way. And unfortunately, they didn't. They didn't want to win. I don't know what else can you call it. But yeah, they failed on the tank composition. They failed to recognize what we had as a strength on our team, and in the end, it cost us the game because of tanks playing out of position, tanks that were not using their strengths, and instead playing, like I said, really out of position, and essentially getting beat up to no end in town. And so like I said, at this time, both me and Mill, in hindsight, maybe we should have supported the 1-2 more, but we figured with as much speed as we had, there would have been no need. And we had, like I said, literally pinpointed ourselves to the south, trying to stave off the massacre that was going to happen. And we did. I think I ended up with 4,800 damage, 4,800 damage. And I think Mill ended up with like almost 4,000 damage. So we were hitting our targets. We just couldn't get the right tank composition to play this. But in hindsight, it is what it is, and I hope this video is somewhat informative for people that still have a hard time with tank composition and recognizing what you need to do, and hopefully this improves some people's game. If you guys have questions about this, PM game, or stop by our TeamSpeak and come in and ask us questions. If you want to play with us for a while, come and play with us for a while. We are willing to help anybody, and have a good luck. We'll talk to you later, and everybody have a good night. Thank you.